Hi, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and you are listening to another reading. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. The title of this reading is What's Happening in Your Relationship? We have 4 cards. You can see we have a kind of cherries, and yeah, just pick the picture that appeals to you. The words are nice, scattered, complex, and then we've got question marks. So yeah, whatever feels like it's your pile, then it's your pile, and we will get started on the reading for that. Okay, so hello, if you picked the first pile, nice, this is going to be your reading. And we are going to find out what's happening in your relationship, what's going on. And yeah, nice. I mean, it looks nice, looks sweet. Let's see where you're at. Okay. And we're going to find out what you can do about it. So if it's something that needs a little work. I'm going to start with an oracle card. Okay. All right. So here we go. Nice. And we have changes. Let's see here. We've got strength. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. Oh my goodness, this is so similar to last night's reading, and I fully shuffled these cards. Okay, so let's get an idea of what's happening in your relationship right now. I'm going to take a look at these. So I'm just going to say this pile is you and this pile is your partner. I think your strength in this relationship, I think that you are the one that essentially, I think you're the action, the movement. You make things happen. You're the builder. You're a little bit more of the foundational strength. Whereas your partner, it looks like, comes through with more of like the words, the thoughts, I don't want to say the actions, but kind of like the inspiration for these things. Whereas I think you're more action, you're more fire, you're more passion, and your partner's like more intention. Definitely doing as well, and definitely inspiration. So actually this looks very balanced the more I look at it. I'm not sure what changes means. This makes me think that there's, a little wind of change where things aren't quite, I don't know, everything changes. So we won't look into that too much just yet until I really get an idea of what that is. But I do see a balance. Let me get 3 more cards to get a picture of this. Okay. This is a little more information. I do love the sly little fox who's the 7 of Wands. There's ever so slightly a little bit, okay, let me stop. I say I love him because to me, it keeps things interesting. It keeps things real. It's not too good to be true when this card's here, but yet there's a little bit of almost like a healthy dynamic, but it can go either way. I don't know what it is about this card I really like, but you will hear me always say that I enjoy this card. But it makes me think of someone or a dynamic in which there's fun, there's an edge, there's a little bit of trickery, it's like you guys are kept on your toes, which I don't think is what you want like to play out, until the end of time. But I do think that that's almost refreshing. It just keeps things interesting, as long as there isn't like, deception behind it, which is a weird thing to say. I like this in a relationship. I don't know why I even say that. There's just something about it that's fun. But this is probably, the way I'm over explaining it, it makes me think it probably is an element of your relationship. There is something about it that has that maybe too good to be true feel to it. Although you guys do seem really solid, very solid. This line here does give me the sense though of a little mystery, a little bit of that like thing you can't put your finger on, ever so slight, like je ne sais quoi, where you just can't put your finger on it. I don't know though which would be more true to that je ne sais quoi, where it's more alluring and more interesting and more like enticing. I don't know if this is. I don't know if you would actually change this part of your relationship if you could, because I do think there's a part to it that needs to be hashed out. There's just an ever so slight bit of secrecy. And if I see the changes here, it makes me think that although things are very good, like your structure is good, it would appear you're very good partners for one another, you're well balanced, like very well balanced, and yet there's just a little edge to this relationship. And I don't know if this edge has just come on. I almost get the feeling that it has. You've kind of left this phase of things being squeaky clean and perfect, and now there's this little question mark that keeps popping up, let's say. And that's the moon for you. The moon is just, it's enough mystery, it's enough lunacy, it's enough a little bit of a light, but not enough light to shine, to actually create an answer. It's there's an illusion there, and I think your relationship has taken this this energy, which I don't think that's bad, and I'm not saying that it isn't normal either. I mean, I feel like all relationships have this period where things are really good, and then things happen, and then you get good again, and then you're stronger for it. So I wouldn't say this is I don't know. I can just feel an energy here where something is brewing, let's say. Something's brewing. Okay, and the Son of Wands, which I haven't really talked about, this definitely could be, I mean, we could call this passion. We could call this someone who is enticing, slick, charming. This could be your partner. It could be you, but I think it could be your partner. And I'm going to say, if this is your partner, then maybe you're the one bringing a little bit of this mystery. Maybe you're actually the one that is kind of hiding things or not bringing everything to the table. If there's someone that needs to be more transparent or even vulnerable, maybe that's you. However, if you're holding back, it might be because you feel that your partner, if he's giving that Son of Wands energy, that it's just, it is a kind of, it's a slippery energy where you just know it's not who they really are, let's say. Like the Father of Swords is this is a great partner. Strength is a great partner. When you guys are in these energies and these phases, I think you're very, very solid. But when you get into the moon and the Son of Wands, it's like these alter egos kind of that are just, it's almost like your shadow selves, and they're not exactly ideal. And then that would make sense to me that the Seven of Swords energy would come out, because this would have a very kind of, there'd be a little tension there. There'd be always that feeling like, are they telling the truth? Did they do what they said? It's nothing, they say nothing's wrong. It's nothing really wrong. Just, it would create a lot of question, but you guys are creating these questions. And it's kind of funny. I don't know what brought this on. There was definitely a change that brought this on, hence the changes. Because when you're up here, like I said, when you're in this energy, you are solid. You're achieving things. You're working together. You're communicating. You're like very good friends. And yet there's this very solid, like, passion and connection between you two. And the balance is that you can kind of almost manage this person, and they can kind of like almost control you with their mind. Like you can control their body and they can control your mind, and this really, really works. But then you get into this funky level of, this isn't fun. I mean, this is fun if you start the relationship this way and you come out of it. But if you are solid and you find yourself here, it's a bit much to deal with. And this would be a change. So I get why it says change. So let's find out what you can do about this. Because that's really the point here. Like why is this happening, and what's happening? So let me get an oracle. I'm going to get 2 oracle cards about your current situation, and then we'll build down from there, because I now have a better snapshot. So we've got overrate your intuition and collaboration of souls. So for the overrate your intuition, um, to me, this means like whatever your gut feeling is, really go with it. Give your intuition, give your gut a very high ranking, and place a lot of emphasis on that. So I would say if you're feeling something, this to me could be like the third eye energy where you are, it's an intuition. It's literally, it's that psychic energy. It's that help from spirit where you tap into that. So if there's something you're feeling, let's say, that isn't so nice, then I wouldn't say just end the relationship, but I would say at least have the conversation. And for me, collaboration of souls falling under the Father of Wands really makes me think that communication is something you need to work on here. I think you've got great communication when you're up here, but I think things fall very much to the wayside when you're in this phase. And you maybe been in a relationship for a while and you've seen this phase before, and maybe you know it comes and goes, and it's not a big deal. Because you picked nice, and nice to me looks like a little coupled up situation, which I think you very much are, but there is something, just a little something extra happening. Okay, I'm going to get another card here, and then I'm going to do a card up here, and I'll do the same for over here. But just to get a little bit more about your relationship, the Six of Pentacles. So I'm going to say that this is you, and then over here I'm going to read for your partner, because I kind of feel like there's a bit of a divide here that's playing out pretty nicely. I think you do, well, I think you're lovely. I think appearances are important to you, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think you take care of yourself. I think you look good. I think your partner probably does the same, and that's important to you. I get a slightly materialistic vibe from this, but I can also get that from strength. Like strength lions are very prideful, and this looks like a very almost prideful, soft, gentle, sweet, and yet almost egotistical lion. With the sun shining behind it. There's parts of that card that make me think this lion is very proud. Not a bad thing, but that would come through in the Nine of Cups. I don't know if your partner is quite to this level of wanting to keep up appearances as you are, but I do think that this is you. And then with the Six of Pentacles, I will say that this to me is it's a very sweet card. There's something very kind about this card, and this is a card of like charity or giving. And I would say when I see this card that although you probably do spend, money on yourself, energy on yourself to look good, to just really keep up your appearance, I also think that you are generous with your money. But whatever that means, I just think that I don't think money is really so much of an issue between you guys. I don't think that's something that creates as much of a problem. But just to get an idea of who you are, I do think that you have a sweet, assertive, yet gentle side to you. And I do think that you are someone who keeps up your appearance. It's important, maybe more than maybe more than your friends, or maybe you have friends that are very similar to you. I'm not saying at all that you're shallow or that it's a bad thing. I just think that it's just one way of, one of the many words we could use to describe you. Your partner probably loves this. He's probably, or not probably, I'm sure he is wildly attracted to you, loves the way you look, loves how you keep yourself on point. And I think that's great. Let's get a little bit about your partner here. And, okay, so Son of Pentacles and the Tower. These aren't bad cards. The Son of Pentacles is a card of like, it's a solid card. It makes me think of someone who's responsible, who's mature, who really does give a fuck, who wants to be a good person, who wants to do the right thing. It's a younger energy, but it's an energy that is of someone who's enthusiastic to be good. Someone who actively just has a routine, has a way of doing things, and is, I'm going to keep saying that they're trying to do the right thing. And I just get that message, I guess, when I see the Son of Pentacles. So I'm going to say that although your partner is the Father of Swords, this is someone who's pretty fierce, pretty astute, pretty, there's a no nonsense quality to this person. I think they're a very good person. I think they're honest. I think they're truthful. I think these things are like these moralistic qualities are important to them. Like they're a very stand up person. And of course they want to be known and respected for being sharp, being good, being just a respectable individual. I think this is very much your partner. And I think of like a good attorney, I think of someone who's like using their mind and is very good. I think both of you guys are good people, actually. I just like with this friendship card and even with strength, there's an energy here where I think in general you have a very, very nice respect and love for one another. So if he's the Tower and the Son of Pentacles, I'm not sure what to make of the Tower card, except to say that like perhaps this person is, I don't know. I mean, the Tower is like it's like a crash and burn card. It's an ending. It could be a card of haste, but I'm going to take this Tower card as I think your partner has either a temper that probably isn't there all the time, but a temper, or they are very, very passionate in the way like they have to get what they want. They are an all or nothing person. I don't mean passionate in like a sensual way necessarily. I mean it in like if they're going after something, nothing will stop them. If they want to put an end to something, nothing will stop them. And I think that's more, and then that person can have a temper. I feel like this intense and heavy, almost like cosmic temperament can go along with someone who is so passionate. And I get that, and I definitely get being drawn to someone like that, because it is it sucks you in. Like there's so much life there, and I think you really like that. And actually, once I talk about that dynamic, that being your partner, there's a chance that maybe you're keeping something from him, or this moon you're holding back because maybe you're afraid it wouldn't be received well. They wouldn't want anything to do with this. I don't know if that tracks, but I do feel like you are holding something back, which is causing a little bit of tension. I think it's causing you to be more sly, you to be secretive. And I think this person has an intuition. Your partner knows, they're checked in. They're a very earthy, connected person. They know what's up. They can almost read your mind. So when you do have a secret or an agenda or whatever it is that doesn't necessarily speak to them, I think they can feel it, and that might cause them to go into this almost rageful. And by rage, I don't mean like they're, breaking plates against the wall or anything. I just think that relatively speaking, there is a much different energy. And the Son of Wands, I mean, I'm not describing a charming person when I say this, but it's replaced by more of a careless, immature, passionate person. So, okay, let's find out what I want to know what's happening with you guys, because this is a snapshot of your relationship, but what's really happening here? Okay, because you're here for a reason, and I do think you guys have something solid, and I don't think things are gonna end. I just think we need to figure out what's happening. So I'm glad that we got the Lovers, okay? I need to move all these cards up. Just bear with me. Oh gosh, these cards don't slide very easily. I feel like the cheaper the cards are, the better they slide. So that's nice. Okay. What am I trying to say? Okay. What's happening with you guys? That's better. You can see things now. Okay. So we have the Lovers card here. I love that. This is another card of change. Yet the change here, there is a rainbow, there is a happy ending. And even in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's like rough waters on one side of this boat and smooth on the other. And it really implies that although there's a change, there's a shift, there's movement, a realigning, a whatever, reorganizing, it's for the better. And you're probably going from hectic times to smoother times. So I like seeing this card here because I'm going to say whatever this is, whatever change you're going through, it really is going to smooth out. And that is the word that I'm going to give to you guys. Things are going to smooth out. The Ace of Swords tells me that you're going to find a new way of thinking and approaching this, which is good because you need that. There needs to be some clarity here. And we're putting this swords, or Spirit put the sword under the Seven of Swords, which is sly and really not fun. So we do need a fresh energy with the swords. I think swords is a big part of your relationship. I think that mental aspect of your relationship is pretty strong and big, and it works for you guys, but we need it to be clear. I don't think you two are a couple that really works when things aren't on the up and up. I think you both need, for your relationship to thrive, which it usually does, things have to be, I think you have to have open communication. I think you guys, you just have to click. Like you have to be really in sync. And when you're off sync or out of sync or off balance, I think your relationship suffers. And it might not be easy to do that. It might take a lot, but once it happens, it takes a bit to course correct. And I do think that that's where you guys are at right now. But we have the Lovers here, which really tells me you guys have a beautiful thing. There could be a lot of ways to read the Lovers, but when it comes up in this context, I'm just going to say, like, you guys really are the Lovers. You really are connected. You think you have a deep and soulful connection. In fact, I really do think, like a collaboration of souls. I do feel like you have a very unique and special bond, but you just need to find a different way to communicate. Again, this is a sword. There's so many swords cards on the table that I just think that communication is really, really coming out to me. And I think your partner is like the one that wants to communicate more. I think it's actually you who pulls away or pushes him away or gives some attitude, makes things difficult. And I feel like you need to stop that, actually. And I just look at this prideful lion and I think there's a pride that's taking over you that is stopping, just stopping you from maybe just giving in a little, maybe just hearing him out, maybe biting your tongue, maybe being a little bit wrong, maybe, I don't know what it is, but there's a part of you that is a little too like up your own ass, and you just need to come out of that energy a little bit. And when I see the Nine of Cups, I do picture someone, and I know you're sweet, I know you're good, but you do have that side to you that's a little thorny, and you probably are someone who can get a lot of attention from the opposite sex, if that's what you want. You're someone who probably has a lot of options. And I think when you get into this energy, you might think about that a little bit more than you should, or you might give that vibe like you're unavailable or you just can't be bothered. I don't know. And yet I actually see you guys really working, but you just need to communicate. There's something you really need to talk about. You need to drop this as your go-to MO when you're in a fight or a little, whatever the word is. So when there's a little bit of conflict, but yeah, drop the secret side of you, drop the pride. Your partner really does want to collaborate, really wants your souls to align. I think he would talk to you for hours if that's what you wanted. I think he would be that Son of Pentacles energy, which is like so loving and sincere and kind, but it's like a young energy. It's just, it's very touching. And yeah, I think that passion, they would give it all to you. But right now they're putting it in other things and it's further pushing you away or driving you away or whatever. So, yeah, if you picked nice, this is your reading, and let's get a good luck charm from Spirit and a just little word of warning, something to keep in mind. And that'll be it. So light in the unexpected is your good luck charm, and your word of warning is You are epic. So, I'm going to say light and the unexpected as your good luck charm. What we're going to make of this is like, I'm just going to think of the moon where there is, you need to shine a little bit more light, put a little more light on the subject, open up a little bit more. That's what I think. I think you have an opportunity to really open up and just give your partner some light. Let them see a little bit more of you, and yeah, reveal a little bit more of yourself. And I think that will be, I think that'll go a very long way. And as the word of warning, the you are epic, I'm going to say, I do think there is a part of you that needs to come off your high horse ever so slightly. This is not a bad thing. Everyone can come off their high horse a little, but you really could. Because I do think that energy comes through when you're arguing or when there's tension. And, it might be tiresome. It might be something that was a little cuter or a little more appealing in the beginning of the relationship. And now this person, if they are the Father of Swords, they're not going to have a lot of energy for it. They're not going to see it as being quite as cute as it once was. And I don't want to end on that note because you really are, you are amazing. I mean that. I think you're wonderful. I think you have a lot to offer. And I'm not saying that you're the only thing wrong with whatever little thing is happening, but I do think somehow you are the one that could change things for the better if you wanted to. The power is really, it's with you. You hold the power. It's your strength here. So I'll stop before I say too much that doesn't even make sense. But this is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. And I really want to thank you for listening. If you have any comments, please let me know. Thank you so much. Goodbye and good night. Hello and welcome to your reading. This is Light and Bone Tarot. I want to thank you so much for being here. We are doing a reading for what's happening in your relationship, and you are here for scattered. So yeah, let's see what is happening in your relationship and what you can do about it. Okay, I am going to start by putting down an oracle card and then putting down a couple tarot cards for you as well. Okay, so we've got this right here. Step ahead is all you need. That was an annoying voice. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So a little weight here already. Okay. Step ahead is all you need. I mean, right off the bat, I am seeing that there are definitely endings and defeat. And then I'm getting like this moving on sense. Again, this is just big, this is creating a big picture. So don't stop it just yet. Okay. Something's happened, I think, where, although I don't think this is your relationship, I actually think that in your dynamic, I'm trying to think about this. I think personally, in the personal life of your partner, I think they've had to move on from something. And I see your partner as the Son of Wands right now. I don't know if he's always the Son of Wands, but I'll say the Son of Wands it's an interesting energy. It is someone who is very passionate, almost always attractive, charismatic, appealing, but it's like it is the fuckboy card of tarot, meaning, well, I don't know, that could mean so many different things, but basically it means that as fun as that energy is, you don't want your partner to be the Son of Wands all the time. They have to mature into something else. It's not going to work. And I would love to think that this means that they're moving on they're no longer going to be the Son of Wands, but I don't. I think right now your partner is the Son of Wands and that something happened to them. They are personally dealing with a loss. And I don't know, that could be an actual loss of like a human in their life, or it could be like the loss of a job. I don't know, a financial investment, but something that has actually turned them into a fairly immature, irritating version of themselves. I don't think they're always the Son of Wands, but I think they are right now. That's what I'm getting. And then this is another card of endings and defeat. And for the Hierophant, this is like, I don't like the Hierophant. This is someone, and I'm getting it even more for this line, who thinks that I think they know everything. I think they are very methodical. I think they're very proud of thinking that they are like the smartest, most knowledgeable person. They probably almost preach. They talk way too much, I think. It's just, unless it's surrounded by something, by a lot of like kindness and love, it's someone with an ego. And I almost feel like this whole line is about your partner. I don't think this is about you. I think your partner right now is going through something where they absolutely did lose something. They were defeated. And I don't think they saw it coming. I think they were kind of blindsided by this. And despite the fact that I think they are usually quite organized, usually pretty sharp, usually see things coming, I just think they were kind of blindsided by this. And it's made them, the effect it's had on them and your relationship, I think it's turned them into someone, I think they've pulled away. They've regressed a little bit. They're acting immature. They might be acting out. They're just scattered. They're literally all over the place. And I'm not getting anything about you in this top line. And I'm not at all getting that your relationship's over or anything like that. I'm just saying that I think your partner right now is a lot to deal with. I think they're a head case. And I just think they're equal parts, thinking I keep saying I feel, but I think they're right now, like if they were to start talking, you would be like, oh my God, just stop talking. Like, we've heard it. I've heard your story. I know you're stressed. I know, like, they're almost stuck and they just need to get ahead. They need to get ahead of themselves, and they really, they really can't. However, the Son of Wands does give me hope, because this is a temporary energy, and it does have a passion to it. There is a light here. This is someone that can absolutely pull themselves out of this, and I really am hopeful that they're going to. I think they will, but right now, they are just, they're all over the place, and they're just causing you to want to pull your hair out. This is the impression I'm getting. Because this is all about them, I want to know a little bit about you. And then we'll get some more about your relationship. Because I just think, right, it's less about the relationship right now, and it's about them. They are just an overpowering energy slash entity. And they just need momentum. They need to keep moving. Okay, so if we get a little bit about you, 6 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and 8 of Pentacles. Your 6 of Wands, I'm going to say you're in transition. I do think that you are, or I'm sorry, not in transition. I think you're recognizing something. Something is coming to light. I think you're starting to see this situation and this relationship just a little bit more clearly. Maybe you were like obsessed with this person in the past, or last week or last month, and whatever's happened, you're starting to see that, like, okay, they're a lot. It doesn't mean you can't work, doesn't mean you don't love them, but they are a lot. And I do think that you had them on a little bit of a pedestal, and you're just seeing them a little bit more clearly now. And in turn, they're seeing you. They're probably seeing how you're handling this. And I actually think you're handling this quite well. I think you are taking the high road. I think you're giving them, when I see the 8 of Pentacles, it makes me think you're giving them their space in a way. Like you're being very patient with them. You are almost investing in them during this time. Like, look, I think you're supporting them. I think you're being a great support structure. I think you're letting them just talk your ear off when you really want to tell them to shut up. And you've probably heard their tales of woe. And again, if they've lost someone they love, then this is very different. Then this isn't which might be why you're enduring this, because it really is something they went through. If it's just them feeling sorry for themselves and they're in a funk and they're making a mountain out of a molehill, well, then that's irritating, but you're still accepting that they're going through something, because I guess it's all relative, whatever they're dealing with. And it is something. They are affected. And your 5 of Swords energy, this to me there is a bit of defeat, but it's a different kind of defeat. How I had to read the Six of Wands a little differently. I feel like with the Five of Swords, you're a little bit bummed by what you're seeing. You're a little bit confused, but you aren't necessarily defeated. But you're still hopeful. I think that this relationship can work. You're putting the time in, you're supporting, but it is a little bit defeating. You need to see this light come up soon. You need to see this person mature and change and leave this behind and work towards your relationship. So this is kind of you guys. I want to know, I'm going to pull a couple oracle cards and then we're really going to get an idea of what's happening in your relationship. But let's get two cards just to sum up the energy again of like where you guys are at. Because it's just so, it's not the direction I saw this reading going, but we'll see. Okay. So the edge of evolution feels messy. Make a mission statement for your soul. Okay. So I take this card as like change. Just when things start to change, I think it feels chaotic. I think there's this sense of like, and it could be a feeling of defeat, but it is that it's almost like, you're on the brink of like, you're all in or you're all out. And I really think you're probably leaning towards right now being all out, but there's going to be a decision to make one way or the other. However, I think you are, or maybe you're afraid you're going to be all out, but I think you're in it because one, you're here, and two, you are showing that patience and that support. You just need to see more from your partner. So you are right. You're right on the edge of this change that is really going to shake things up a bit. But for your partner, I'm saying make a mission statement for your soul, which really is them just changing, doing it, creating the change that they want in their life. What's going to make them happy? They need to think about things differently. They need to understand that this is a funk. They can't live in this space forever. And it is affecting their relationship. It's affecting you and they're going to lose you. And I do think they're scattered. I think they're all over the place right now. I don't think they see the light at the end of the tunnel. I just don't even know that they know what they want, but I will say they know it has to change. Even they in this state know that they can't go on like this and that it's just going to hurt them more. And this is what gives me hope is the Son of Wands, that they will snap out of it. They'll wake up one day and they will completely snap out of it. And this oracle card, make a mission statement for your soul, does give me that hope. It just reinstates that, like, yes. And I might be able to get a time card for this. Mm-hmm. Because we know they're going to come out of it. Okay, let me get the evolution, or the edge of evolution feels messy. Let me get a card. Let's start figuring out a little bit about what is going on in your relationship. Like where's it headed? Like what's happening? Let me know a little bit more about that. Okay, Daughter of Swords and Temperance. So this is sweet. So this actually really gives me hope, and it should give you hope too. When I ask that question of like, where's it going? What's happening? This shows me that you are, obviously we know you're sticking around, right? We know that you probably really did have this person on a pedestal at one point, probably adored them in a way, which is fine. I feel like that's a feminine energy that, a lot of us do with relationships that we find ourselves really into. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I think your relationship in general does have I think it's got a good vibe. I think at the core, it is two people who are like equal parts in. Maybe you're very different, or you function very differently. You think very differently, but you're both in. You're both trying to make this relationship work. Maybe not right this second because this person's selfish, but even in this state, I still think they're giving you enough little tidbits to make you want to stick around. And I think that's the Daughter of Swords energy, where I actually think your partner is like doing everything they can in their crazy messed up state right now, to basically let you know, like, look, please see this through. All right. Like, please ask me the right questions, have the right conversations with me, give me the gentle nudging, like help me get out of this funk. I really think they want you to help them get out of this funk. And with the patience and with you probably want to just throw the towel in, but you're not. I think you feel that, and you might like that. You might like that you can really help this person who you do obviously care about. I think the question is, are you in love with them, or is this a project? Is this someone that you once adored and now you're trying to figure out how you really feel for them? I can't get a read on that, but I know you're putting the time and the effort in, and I know you care for them. And I think they care for you a lot as well. And I think they really want you there to see this through. But I almost feel like you're here for almost like a curiosity of like, is this person, what are they going to be like when they come out of this? You're either going to be a hell of a lot better for this as a couple, or it's just going to make everything feel like a bunch of nonsense and you'll be over it. And I just think you're almost curious about that. Again, going back to your relationship, I do think this Temperance card, your relationship has its own inner balance. It kind of heals and mends itself. And this is why, which sounds so cheesy and like not even makes sense what I just said. But what I mean is you guys really work together. And even though you've been going through this, you guys are both still in it, because there's something keeping you guys together. There's some element that you can't explain, you can't put your finger on, but there's a reason you guys are still going through this, and why you're putting up with all these weird quirks that you're experiencing from your partner right now, because there is still a softness there. And and I think you're the person that's one step ahead, basically. And I just think you're the one looking out for I want to say him, but whoever it is right now. But yeah, your relationship is strong, and there is a light to it. And I do think it has in general, a very nice energy. And I think that's hard to find. I think you've had a hard time finding someone that makes you feel this way. And I think you're even surprised you're still in it right now, but you are. So good for you. Let's do the same thing over here and just get another idea of what's happening with you guys. What is really happening? Okay. And this always happens. I ask the same question twice, and then I get something a little heavier. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna read this kind of the way I read the other side here, and I'm gonna say this is your relationship right now. And I will say you guys are hurting. Whatever is going on, it's actually, I didn't realize it was this hard on you, because I kind of have painted you as someone who, like, you're almost in and out of a curiosity, but I do think it's hard on you. I do think it hurts you to see this person this way. Maybe you've known them and care about them. Maybe you've known them for a while, so you have really, you really care about them. Maybe you know their family. Maybe you know what they've been through, and it's a lot more than it's a lot more than them feeling sorry for themselves. But I do think you really are emotionally invested in this person, more than I realized, and maybe more than you even realize. So you are hurt by what's going on, and you hurt for them, and you're just sad to see them in this way, which is a little bit heavier than I thought. And also it makes me think you guys are even more connected than I thought. When I saw Temperance, I knew you guys were connected. I knew when I felt like your partner is trying to be that Daughter of Swords for you, like really wants you, like he's trying, and he wants you to be the Daughter of Swords, or wants, yes, sorry. I can't remember what I said about this is the honest truth. And now I'm saying it doesn't sound right, but you heard it, and it did make sense. So I'm sorry, I can't get it back right now. But I think here, if this is you, there is you are still contemplative. You are making a decision about this relationship still. It doesn't take away the fact that you're hurt or that you really care or that this is a pretty unique and special situation and lovely bond. I do think that you're contemplating it. You aren't sure where this is going. It wouldn't surprise me if you also woke up in a few days and you were like, I can't do this. I'm done. This really isn't working. Or if your partner changes and leaves the Son of Wands and becomes the Daughter of Swords, which is, I think, what I was saying, that your partner really wants to be the Daughter of Swords. He's trying to show you that side. I do think that a lot could happen here. And, I've talked so much and I feel like I've said so many of the same words over and over again, but if I sum it up, what's happening in your relationship is less about the relationship as a whole and more about what's happening with your partner. And that's probably the biggest takeaway. And this is affecting your relationship. It's almost stagnant. It's like a scattered energy that you just can't, you can't really corral it. Everything's all over the place and you're really waiting on someone else to figure out what they want to do and you can't force it. But I do think there is enough strength and love and history actually between you guys that it really could work. But I also see that you probably have a time limit and you have, you have thoughts of your own about just how much of this is going to work for you. So I really hope that your partner can pull it together and feel better and heal and, mature through this a little bit. And I'm sorry this was less about your relationship and more about your partner. But what you can do about it, let's get 2 cards because that was how can you help? Okay, let's do that. That's very good. I'm going to put down an oracle card and then I'm going to get 2 cards about how you can help because I think that's good. Shift the way to new potential, the Emperor, and the 2 of Pentacles. So how you can help him, and like you aren't already doing enough, but shift the way to new potential. I think you're going to help with that change. You're going to help him wake up one morning and be like, I am done. I just think it's that newness, that excitement that he will have to see on his own, but you can help with that. And actually this card, the Emperor, if we're on this track, you would help with that by being a little bit more of a tyrant. The Emperor energy is a lot like the Hierophant. It's kind of someone who isn't going to put up with any more bullshit. Maybe you've coddled and, been up in their feels for too long and it's affected you. And now you need to be a little less loving and accepting, and a little bit more of like here's where I'm at, and maybe just give back a little bit of this energy. I think you've been taking it too much. And if you do step into a more of an Emperor energy, I think you're going to scare them is exactly what I think is going to happen. It's going to almost shift them or, like they're going to wake up. And I think they need that. It would be like, a little smack to the face. That's the Emperor energy. And just a few words about the Emperor. Like this is when they're doing their best job at being an emperor, they're like a father figure, an authoritarian, but with a little bit of a gentle, when the Emperor is good, they're very good. When they're bad, they're a tyrant. But we're going to say that, you're going to be the good emperor. We have no reason to think you'd be a mean emperor here. But I do think you need to leave this energy you're in, which is a little too coddling and accommodating, and step into the Emperor. And the Hierophant will understand it. They might not receive it, they might not love it, but it will probably knock them off this throne they're on, which they need to be knocked off of. So I'm glad we asked these questions because this speaks more to your relationship and a kind of like a shift in dynamic that is much needed. And this is a card of balance. You need to strike that balance. Things are way too off balance right now. They really are scattered. And it's just not fair that the energy can be this displaced for so long. You've been patient, you've thought about leaving, you've, given this person everything they need. And, quite frankly, you've had enough. So yeah, and your heart breaks for them. So, start being a little bit more of a tyrant and a bitch And I think they'll snap out of it. They'll leave this, they'll drop this, they'll become the Daughter of Swords, which is a very nice next step. And they'll probably move into the Father of Swords in no time. They'll get back to it. But Temperance is here to back you up. And yeah, you're smart, you're focused. I think if you want to make this work, you've absolutely got this. But you are now, it is your responsibility to help corral this energy, and you know it's scattered now. You're going to be the one that gathers it up and makes it right. So have fun with that. Let me know how that goes if you want to. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, thank you so much for this reading, for letting me read for you. I hope you comment or yeah, anything you have to say. I would love to hear about it. So goodbye and good night. Thank you so much. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. It means everything. And I am doing a reading for you for what's happening in your relationship. You picked pile number 3, and this is a reading for complex. So yeah, let's see where this goes. It's a pile of cherries, and it does look complicated. Layered maybe. Okay, and we're gonna, not only are we gonna find out what's going on in your relationship, but we're gonna find out what you can do about it. So let's get started. Okay. All right, so this is for scattered. Nope, complex. Pardon me. Sorry. Okay, fall in love with your own story. And we've got Daughter of Cups, 9 of Wands, Son of Pentacles, and Judgment. Okay, so let's see here. Let me see how I want to feel this out. I actually think I'm going to split this down the middle. I think this is you on the right and your partner on the left. And I think that you are the Daughter of Cups energy. So wait, let's take it back. Fall in love with your own story. I actually think, and it's funny because there's kind of a grid on this card that you definitely can't see. I think this is like you guys are each, I don't want to say you're each in love with yourself. That's not at all what I mean. But I think you are each equally selfish right now. And you're each thinking that what you want, what you need, what you don't have is more important than the other's needs, wants, lacks, whatever. I have a feeling things are pretty tense between you guys. I don't really think you're seeing eye to eye on things. Not necessarily in a bad way. I'm not saying that you guys, your relationship's over or you can't stand each other. I just think there's this, and this is, again, I think this is a natural flow of a relationship. This is just kind of what happens. And then you get out of it, and then it's the next phase, and that phase can be amazing. But this is, I just feel like you are, like you're at a point where I think you've done a lot, you've tried a lot of things maybe, and I mean relative to the relationship, I think you've put, let's say your relationships I think it's needed work for a little while, okay? You've been working at it. I think you've been really putting a lot into this relationship, trying to make it work, and you've almost built up a resilience. You're almost at a point where you're like, look, I can't do this anymore. I need more from you, or I need you to change. I think really you want them to change something about themselves. And if I look over here and I see Judgment, I feel like maybe they're a little judgy. If I look at this, I feel like your partner is someone, and if they're the Son of Pentacles, they are, if we combine the Son of Pentacles with Judgment, I could say that your partner is like someone who, and this is extreme, it's probably not exactly this, who meditates, who does yoga, who's sampling being a vegan or a vegetarian, who might have hunted last year and now they're staunchly against it, who, I just think it's someone who tries new things, might be constantly like reinventing themselves, and it's their vibe, it's their brand, it's probably what attracted you to them in the beginning, but it can be frustrating, it can feel inauthentic, and it can be almost something you get jealous of if you're like, look, I don't change every week or year. I'm the same person I was when you met me, and why do you get to change all the time? Or how can, like, why am I always adjusting to your change? And I think that with their changes, with, it might be like they read a book and they're like, oh, I now am going to do things this way. I now subscribe to this. I now believe in this. This is my mantra now. And I just think that maybe they almost judge you because you're not like that. You might be a lot more even, a lot more probably comfortable within your own skin, confident. And I do, with the Daughter of Cups energy, it's a very, very sweet energy. And it's someone who can, I think, form a connection with almost anyone. It's someone who's got that creative light. And that water is just so, it's that someone who can adapt to anything. But then, there is a point where you can't, you hit a wall. And I think you've adapted so much and you've given them so much and you've adjusted so much to them that now there is that resilience. You're just kind of like, I can't do it anymore. I need you to, they need to pick a lane. They need to pick a path. They need to really find themselves and stop being this, almost like all over the place all the time. Like, I don't know if and I don't even know that they're unhappy. It might just be a phase they're going through, or they might be like, this might just be who they are, but you are very different. You can put up with that. You definitely have that willy-nilly creative side to you. And it is that water thing. You can almost like, I don't know if this is a water thing, but you're like, there's almost a chameleon aspect to you too, where you really, I think I could see you dating a lot of different people. Let's put it that way. I could see you meshing well with like, person A, and then person B, who's the complete opposite of person A, I could also see you meshing with. So I get that you can put up with this and do it, but it isn't, you want more. And I think you just want more from them. You want them to focus a little less on themselves all the time and give you a little bit more. So fall in love with your own story is where I think both of you are. They're falling in love with their story, as they always do. They want you to fall in love with their story. And you're like, I can't do this anymore. This is me. You have to understand this, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, that was a lot from just those cards, but it feels very, that's really the energy I'm getting here. So yeah, let's see. I want to know a little bit more about your guys' dynamic. And then we'll find out what's happening. The Sun, the Hermit, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, interesting, because these are all great cards. And just funny to see together. So the Sun is like that life-giving, in-your-face force. It is very strong. It's very abundant. It's very, it's overpowering, which could totally be your boyfriend or your partner. You could be a man and they could be a woman. There's infinite situations here. The energies of male and female don't mean anything. They don't assign to a specific gender. I assume it's more women watching this station, but I could be wrong. So anyway, but the Hermit is a very intuitive person, very intuitive, very, you're, that's interesting. Okay. And then the Nine of Pentacles is kind of like a contrast to this person. The Nine of Pentacles is that material wealth, that materialism, that beauty, that kind of regalness that comes from having, being draped in fine clothes and driving a nice car and having a beautiful home. And I always say things are relative. It's not, if you're not making $1 million a year, you're not going to be driving a Rolls Royce, but just driving a nice car, things that you really care about, you keep up your appearances. That to me is the Nine of Pentacles. But also with that comes someone who works hard at doing that. It doesn't happen by accident. It is an intentional thing. And I feel like we're kind of swapped here, because I would see you for more of the Nine of Pentacles. And I actually see your partner as more of the Sun. I see your partner as someone who really does want the attention. And I'm getting this, the dove wings here, the I'm here to judge you. It's kind of like the Sun. It's that same energy of I'm looking down on you. I'll scald you. I will I'll light your path. I'll show you how to do things. I think that your partner is the sun, literally for better or worse. The, the sun is something we can't live without, but it's also a very overpowering, dominant, heavy energy that can be way too much. And it can give you that like guttural reaction, like I have to get out of the sun. I have to seek shade. And that is the hermit, actually. That is the part of, I almost feel like your partner is driving you into this, you're kind of you're folding within a little bit, and you're pulling away. So I think you are pulling away in your relationship, and they must feel it. They really must feel it, but they are very consumed with what they're doing and themselves. I'm gonna have to get some cards to understand your partner better, because I don't want to not like them. Right now, they just seem selfish. I don't even know that they're bad or mean or narcissistic. I don't even get that. I just think that they are so consumed with thinking they're doing the right thing and helping the world and helping everyone around them, that they don't even understand that, like, no one cares. No one cares about the new book they read and how that's going to change their life. Like, that's fine if it does, then we want to hear about it, but we don't need to know that, like, you're not eating dairy this week and no one else should either, or whatever. Like, I know I use those examples a lot, but probably because those are examples from my life and things that I like. That's probably me. I'm probably this person way more than I want to be. Anyway, so I get this energy. I don't think they're bad. I just think it's like someone needs to snap them out of it. But you are pulling away, and you do have that emotional component to you. You are that kind of empath person who you can only take on and feel so much. You can't absorb everything someone else does. You need your own identity, and you have built up a resilience to it anyway, where it's kind of like you're almost like apathetic to them, like, or numb to them. Like, you almost don't even care anymore. And it is making you retreat and look within. And that looking within is equal parts pulling away from them, and then equal parts starting to work on yourself. So yeah, that is, I do think you're focusing on you. And maybe you're feeling like more beautiful, maybe better about yourself, more confident. This could also be, I can take this as like confidence, that if those actual tangibles aren't really speaking to you about your relationship, because I don't really see actually how they play out here, it could be that feeling you get when you have those kinds of things in your life. You might be starting to feel a little bit more of that confidence, just that feeling you get when you're wearing like a new outfit and you look good. Maybe you haven't felt that. Forget the new outfit, just that feeling, because you've been so wrapped up in like someone else's whole vibe and energy that you haven't even had a time to fall in love with your own story. So I think you need to fall in love with your own story, and they need to like stop falling in love with their own story. I don't know where this relationship's headed, because it is a little complex, because you're moving almost in two different directions, which is interesting. I do see that there are layers and directions, and they're not necessarily aligning. Okay, let me get some oracle cards, and we're gonna find out a little bit more about like where you guys are headed, where your relationship is headed. So we're gonna do this fierce serenity and external validation. Okay, that's funny. So your fierce serenity, their external validation. You're water, you're serene, you're strong, you know yourself. And I've gotten that from the beginning. You are very, very strong and confident. The hermit is someone, they know exactly what they need. They know when they need it. They know what they're looking for. Or if they don't know what they're looking for, they know to pause and take a step back until they find it. And it's just such a beautiful, serene energy. And even with the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like a bad job of explaining it, but it's just that confidence. And it is an earthy confidence. It's in you. It's like, you're just starting to feel good, and it is giving you peace and calm. Whereas this person is still seeking external validation. And I think they seek it a lot. I think that this is a ruse almost for the fact that they do lack a lot of confidence. And I don't know that you can't build them up anymore. You just can't do it anymore. Or you don't want to. So let's get a little bit more about what's happening in your relationship. And then we'll find out if you want to change it, what you can do about it. But we're going to get a little bit more about the relationship. Mother of Swords and Ten of Wands. Okay. So the Mother of Swords, we're going to say this is you because this is your side and this is their side. You are the I would say the voice of reason in this relationship. You are the one that is, you're just the logical one. You know, I think if there's an argument, it's because you brought up the topic. And you're not an arguer, but like you're just so on point with how you think and how you deliver your messages and your intent. There's something very like astute and straightforward and no nonsense about you. I really like you. I really can feel your energy. I think I have friends like you, and I really, really like you. And I think you've just got this kind of calm to you, and you're very much aware, and you're very self-aware, and you're very aware of the situation. And if I see this 10 of Swords here, I'm going to say it is endings. It is a sense of defeat. And this is the 9 of Swords leading up to this. So if you want this relationship to work, I think all you would have to do is have the right conversation and say the right things, because this person is easily manipulated. They're just desperate to hear, you know, the right mix of like a compliment and good advice at the same time, and you would have them in the palm of your hand. You're just so sick of doing that. But you could. And I just think that if you don't do that, and you're the Mother of Swords, you're not gonna stick around. You're not gonna coddle this person mentally any longer, and then you would end the relationship. I'm sorry this is so, and I don't know why I'm hating on your person so much. I really don't mean to do that. I don't dislike them, and we're going to get cards. I'm going to specifically ask what's good about them, and that can change things and make you see the good, because I have just bashed them this whole reading, and I really, really don't want to do that, because there's nothing bad about them. That I don't get that they're just selfish. They're just so into themselves right now, but that's it. That's their only flaw, and people can mature out of that like completely. And let's find out how they can change, what it's going to take, because I really want them to change. Okay, so the Hierophant and the Daughter of Wands. I think if we're asking how we want them to change and a little bit about who they are, I think they just need to be more, like, I guess, pragmatic. They need to be less open to everything and just really start like picking a lane. They need to be more specific and just really hone in on who they want to be, and then be that. They need to find themselves and their identity, quite frankly. And once they do that, I'm going to say they can step into this Daughter of Wands energy, which is still, it's a young energy, but it is someone we all want to be around. There's a passion there. There's a creativity. There's a fierceness. They're still doing. They're always going to be this doer. And they're always going to probably talk about themselves a little bit too much, but that's okay. That's okay. They just need to stop judging and thinking that, you know, the thing I'm getting from them is what they're doing is they're judging in a way that I think they think they're making the world a better place. And I get this, like, when I say the yoga and the meditation, and this could have come from like, maybe they worked their asses off and finally had enough, and they took a total and they did a 180. It's almost like they've done a 180 of who they were when you met them. I just don't think they've always been this way, and it seems temporary. And the Ten of Pentacles is a really good person. They're very, like, they are methodical. They are contemplative. They are good. They're connected to the earth, and they care about, they care about the earth. They care about the goodness of other people. They care about themselves. So I really do want to think that they can change. And if they step into a Daughter of Wands energy, they're going to be like just a little bit more balanced with the Hierophant, enthusiastic, but enthusiastic about themselves, not about trying new things or proving themselves or finding an identity, or identifying with whatever, like I said, book they read. Or I think they're really going to come into their own and just find confidence and happiness in that person that they'll become. So I guess if we just give them a chance, if you want to, that they can become a little bit more, take on some of this Hierophant, which is also, in most people, this would irritate me. The Hierophant can be very, just so rigid and so structured, but I think that would do them very, very well. Okay. And if you're like, whoa, this woman is really, a downer. I don't know why I got so intense on your reading. Maybe because I associate with some of this energy and it like struck a chord with me. I don't know, but, okay. And now if you want to change if you want to change this or what you can do about this for the better, let's see what those cards are. And I'm going to put, limitations, inspire innovations. So I'm going to say, if you really want to make this work, this complex dynamic, I'm going to say you would probably have to step it up to be the Mother of Cups, which is a very nurturing person. It's almost like you would have to kill this person with kindness. Maybe they don't need a firm talking to. Maybe they just need someone to love them. It's the Mother of Cups it's a nurturer. It is someone who will let you cry on their shoulder, will really hear you out, will really be your best friend and your biggest supporter. And maybe if you did that, it would build this person up enough where they'd have enough confidence in you, in the relationship, to really step into their own. And I'm not saying mother them, like that's not the dynamic I want you to take on, but there is that I just think of a nurturer. But you can absolutely be that. I mean, if this person has like fiery and kind of like passionate and maybe very like sexy and dynamic, like you could really want to make it work with them. They could really be worth it. And they could be a very good person. That would be the most important thing. Okay. And the Seven of Pentacles, if you want to make this work, this is also a card of making investments, putting the work in, putting the time in. So it tells me that there would be time and investment that you would make, and it would come from this place of like really caring, and maybe getting to another level of why they're acting this way, why they've been this way, why they're so why they have something to prove, why this chip is on their shoulder, why they think they're better than everyone else. I laugh because I hear myself, and if this is your first reading, you'll probably never listen to another one because you're like, I don't ever want to hear this woman talk about how awful my partner is. Please give me another chance if you have only ever heard this reading, because this is a unique reading, and okay. But limitations inspire innovations. I just think that this contradicts with what I just said. I don't know what limitations inspire innovations. Maybe I don't want to talk about your partner anymore. I've said enough about them. I don't know. Maybe there's something that needs to be like cut out or tapered back to just bring up this new inspiration together. Maybe if you just simplify some things between the two of you and cut out some of the noise, that you guys could actually you could find an inspiring place together. I could see that. But you are, just to wrap this up, you are very serene. You are very kind. You are very sweet. You're very strong. You're very smart. You're astute. And I just think that you are tremendous. So I can't sing your praises enough. And the thing is, if we did 20 more minutes and I read about your partner, I'm sure I'd understand why he's acting this way. I'm sure I would say he's not always this way, and he will come out of it, and it's a phase. And really, if you see something in him, then you can absolutely put the work in, and I think he'll come around. So yeah, I would love to hear your comments or feedback on this reading. I really would. Even if you have nothing good to say, still let me know, because it'll help me grow. But really, thank you very much for being here. This is complex. That's the title. That's the picture. And it is complex. Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Happy New Year. Goodbye. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and I am thanking you for being here. Thank you very much. I'm doing a reading for what's happening in your relationship, and what you can do about it. So you are here because you picked pile 4, picture 4, which has 3 question marks. And, the picture implies that there's like some unfaithful activity. And really, I don't think that's, I don't want the reading to go there just because that's what the picture shows. I think there's just a question mark around your situation, period. So let's try to clear that up. The last reading was so strange, and I'm still kind of like, oh my God, was that the worst reading I've ever done in my life? I don't know. I hope whoever picked it, I hope it tracked. Okay, so I'm going to get an idea of your relationship, your dynamic. Let me just take that card right there. Soul on Fire. Oof. I mean, I feel like that's a great card. Soul on Fire. Okay, 3 of Pentacles. The Moon. Father of Pentacles and 9 of Swords. When I first saw Soul on Fire, it's exciting because you're like, oh yeah, my soul's on fire. But I almost feel there's a bit of like I'm going to say there's like almost like an angst to this. I'm not getting a deep passion as much as I'm getting like a little bit of like an angst. Like you need clarity. Your soul needs to be cooled off. Your soul needs to be relieved or get some reprieve. Like there's a feeling to me that like it's not a good thing that your soul's on fire. So we'll see if that's really the case or not. But if this is the first line of your relationship, okay. I mean, we've got anxieties here. We've got some nightmares. We've got some pretty stressful things. Father of Pentacles is great. This is a great, great energy. And if this is your partner, which I just thought it just made me think in the readings, mostly the right side has been the female or the one inquiring mostly, I would say. And then the left side has been the partner, who generally I think is male. But the Father of Pentacles is just a loving, secure person. I mean, this is someone who has enough wealth and abundance to absolutely live a happy life. They are kind, they're good, they're in touch with nature, they're probably very outdoorsy. They don't have a whole lot to prove. They just want to be happy and do the right thing. Like that's what I get out of the Father of Pentacles. And it seems like they're anxious. I'm going to say that they're the ones actually that are questioning things. And I'm going to say that you're the Moon, which is in this reading, you would be the one that has the secrets. You would be the one holding back. You would be the one causing this. Maybe there's a doubt or kind of making someone feel like they need more light shed on the topic. And maybe, the Moon, I've heard someone give the Moon card the word lunacy attached to it. And I love that because it makes me like, there is that feminine energy of the Moon, and we all have a lunacy that runs through us in different degrees. But I love that. I love that feminine edge that we have that no male can touch. And I do think you are kind of driving your partner mad. And this makes me think you are doing something, you're building something, you're starting something without him. And actually this is a card of teamwork. It may be that there's another person that you're working pretty closely with, and your partner may be jealous. So instead of thinking that like your partner would be the one causing you a little bit of strife, or strife isn't the right word, causing some strife to the relationship, it might actually be you. And I don't know that you're doing anything wrong, but I do think you're doing something that isn't really involving him, and it might involve another person. And I think they're jealous. And if I see you building something and doing on your own, it's probably because they are accomplished. They do plenty on their own. And you were probably so excited to really have your own thing, your own project, your own opportunity for yourself to call your own, to start entirely, individual, as an individual, that it probably threw them for a loop. They might be hurt. Their ego might be a little bit bruised, but it is stressing them out. It's not just like bugging them. It's actually causing them some anxiety, which you probably feel. So let's get a little bit more about what's going on in your relationship. Okay, so there's some decent cards here. I love the Ten of Pentacles, okay? Because this tells me, these are earth signs. This is Pentacles. This is Pentacles. Okay, they're everywhere. This is like the pinnacle of the Pentacles. This is the culmination of like all the good of the Pentacles, which is that it's balance. It is working together. It is building something. It's building that foundation. It's stability. It's growth. It's all the things that you really need to be happy. Like the other suits, they're extremes, but I feel like the Pentacles are like really, it is the foundation. So if I see the Ten of Pentacles and we're talking about your relationship, I'm like, oh yeah, you guys are solid. And in fact, I think you guys are super solid. But I just think whatever you're doing, and I'm not sure why, it is very much stressing this person out. But if I look also at your Six of Pentacles here, this is a card of like giving and sharing. And I will say, I think actually that you're probably giving your time and your energy not to your partner, but to your own little endeavor right now. So I can almost separate these and be like, this is you over here, and this is your partner here. And this is basically your partner being patient with you, which is going to run out shortly if it hasn't already. Yes, this is what I see. This is kind of this split. And it's, I think you guys have a great thing, and I'm going to back that up with the Ten of Pentacles. You guys are balanced. You guys are solid. You have a tremendous relationship. Whatever you're doing over here that you thought was, and it might be, I'm not saying you thought and you were wrong. I'm just saying you did actually feel that it was very important to do this. You've either gone about it wrong, you've managed it wrong, you've communicated it wrong, you haven't communicated enough. You've handled the situation, I want to say, poorly in some way. And maybe you did it out of a little bit of spite or dig at your partner. Maybe you did it to show them like how capable you are, and you really didn't need to do that. I don't know. But I do feel like you're giving this a lot of attention, and it is actually hurting your partner, who I want to know a little bit more about, because right now I feel bad for them and they seem wonderful and lovely, and you seem very dynamic. And you must be very good, because I'm seeing that you really have something solid here together, and they care about you very much, and they're waiting for you, but you're just causing them a little bit of pain. And I think they might be thinking that there's someone else. And I don't know, maybe there's someone you're working very closely with that has you thinking, are you in the right relationship? And they're feeling that. It seems like that could be a bit of the dynamic. So actually I want to get for you first. I want to find out what is your dynamic with this right now? Where are you at? So we've got, this card came up recently. Limitations, inspire innovations. And then I'm going to pull 2 tarots for you. Okay. So, we've got, okay, so you have been sly, and this is a heartbreak card. Again, I don't know you, and I don't want to say that you've done something bad if you haven't, and I don't want to say that if you've done something that's just a little bit bad that it's caused heartbreak. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I do think you've been a little bit sly, and I do think limitation inspires innovations. I just think you've been pulling back. I think you have it's like you're almost punishing this person, and I don't know why, but there's something that's making you're handling this in a way that you could be more gentle, you could be softer, you could be kinder, you could be more open, and you're not. And it is, I mean, these 2 cards make me think you are being maybe unfaithful, or that you're on the brink of it, or you're thinking about it. It just makes me think you're right. Yeah, you're about to do something wrong, or you have done something wrong. And as far as the limitations inspire innovations, I have to think a little bit about what that oracle card would translate to. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, that was annoying. So what exactly... Yeah, I don't know what you've been limiting that's inspiring innovation, but I do think you've been pulling back. Yeah, I don't know. But these cards are concerning. And if they have no place, then I don't know what they mean. But if they track with you at all, then you definitely know what they mean. Let's get a little bit about your partner here. The same thing. Let's find out what's going on with them, who they are. Step ahead is all you need. So I do feel like they are pretty on the ball. I think they know what's going on. I don't think they just feel it in their gut. I think they know it. And that's like contemplation, foresight, Father of Cups. So I do think that I think they're thinking what to do about the situation. I'm going to say that they are aware. Again, I'm not saying that you did anything wrong. I'm saying that you've thought about it. You're close to it. There's something going on that if your partner knew, it would hurt them. And I'm going to say they do know. I'm not saying they like hired a PI and they know for a fact, but I'm saying in their gut, in whatever, they know you well enough. They know that there's something going on with you. And it's probably that you're giving attention to someone else through possibly this project that you've been working on that's pulling you away. And they are, just so you know, they are thinking, is this the right... They're using some foresight to try to figure out if this is the right thing for them. Is this where they want to be? Is this the right relationship? And I think they're taking on a little bit of a Father of Cups energy while doing this, which is really sweet. It makes me think that they are using, they are being emotional about this. They are, but they're exercising this like emotional self-control. They are, actually, when I say it's really sweet, I don't know that it's really sweet. I actually don't, the more I think about it, to me, the Father of Cups is like an emotional self-control. They are tapping into their emotions, but they're not getting overly emotional. They are really accessing them without losing their mind. So and that tracks with who I believe your partner is. Because when I see the Father of Pentacles, it is a reasonable, logical, balanced individual who is not just gonna like fall victim of their latest emotion or want or need or craving. They really know themselves. But I think in dealing with this situation, they're taking on a little bit more of an emotional role without being overly emotional, if that makes sense. Because they have to think about things. They have to think of memories, go through all this data to see if it's, what they want to do. And I do think that requires a little bit of emotion if you're going to do it right. And that's where they're at. I think they're sifting through data right now. And really thinking like, do I want to be with this person? If they did, cheat on me, if they did do something that was unforgivable, would I forgive them? And that's, I think, the patience right now. They're giving you time. They probably want to see how things pan out. And yeah, I don't know what you want. Okay, let's see. I'm going to ask, what do you want? I'm going to put down an oracle card, and then I'm going to put down 2 cards for what you want. Nourish the Sacred Feminine. I love that card. And okay, Mother of Pentacles, Justice, and Nourish the Sacred Feminine. So what do you want? I think you want to be maybe more adored. I think this person is showing you a lot more energy than maybe this person is. And I didn't really think about what this person lacks. I just thought about they're hurt. But maybe they really haven't been giving, maybe they're not a great partner. Maybe they're a great provider. Maybe they're not a great partner. Although I did say, and I still stand by that you guys did have something pretty solid. But there were so many pentacles on the table that maybe what you had was very solid. I just don't know if it brought you a lot of happiness or if there was a lot of passion there. It might have been great on paper, checked all the boxes. This might be a very honest, loving, solid, respectable person. I just don't know if it really got you going. So we'll see. But if I see these cards for what do you want? Yeah, I think you want to feel that. You want to feel really adored. I think you want to feel sexy. You want to feel wanted. And that does make you step into your feminine, which actually would balance the lunacy of the feminine part of the moon. I think this person is giving you the attention, and it's making you feel a little less neurotic. And yeah, it's coming at the expense of hurting someone else though. So something would have to be done about it. But, I don't see this as justice and payback. I see this as you want to be more judicious with your time. If you're going to be in a relationship, you want to make sure you're with the right person. And I think you're really making that decision right now. As much as this person is making a decision about you, you're equal parts making a decision about them. And yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting place to be. And if you want the Mother of Pentacles, and this is the Father of Pentacles, that's interesting. So this card could give me hope that this might be a good dynamic. Maybe you needed something like this to shake it up. I don't know. But if you want to be the Mother of Pentacles, the Mother of Pentacles would go great with the Father of Pentacles. This is the fact. But you can also be the Mother of Pentacles in your own right in a relationship. And maybe if you're with this person, you really can't be the Mother of Pentacles. Maybe this person makes you're more of the moon when you're with this person because there isn't a balance. Maybe you're out of balance when you're with them, but when you're with this person, you do feel more balanced and you step into your Mother of Pentacles self, which is a very creative, loving, nurturing, earth connected, just nature loving person. It's someone who I think can be a little needy at times, but that's okay because they really love to love. It's someone who loves to love. They love to love the trees. They love to love their person, their animals, their earth, their plants. It's just that kind of a very loving energy. And maybe you can't really fall into that when you're here. I don't know, but this is what you want. And then, yeah, you do want to be a little more judicious with your decisions and your time. I think you want to own a little bit more of your process. And maybe you haven't been doing that. And maybe you are excited to be totally managing everything on your own over here. Maybe this is a more controlling, more rigid dynamic, which I could see. I don't know why, but I can see it. But they are working, if they're showing that they're the Father of Cups here, if that's what they're doing, maybe you could get more of that from them. That could be possible if this was something you really wanted to work on. Okay, let's get a little bit we're going to find out about your partner. What do they want? your partner being this person, not the person you're with. Just kidding. Okay, find your sacred flow. So that's hopeful. And we've got, okay, this Hierophant card has shown up on every single reading I've done today. Every single one. Okay, we've got the High Priestess, which you can't see. Sorry about it. Find your sacred flow and the Hierophant. Okay. If they want to find their sacred flow, I think they do want to make some changes. I think they, and if maybe they do want more of this. Well, I'll tell you what, they definitely want more of a feminine energy. They definitely want, I think, to soften. I think they want to, I don't know, actually. Well, because the High Priestess, although she's very, very feminine, she's also secretive. She's also, I mean, the moon is her planet. And there is that intuition, that higher, that all-knowing, that I wonder what this person would even be like if they stepped into the High Priestess. I'm not sure about that. And then the Hierophant is like a very rigid, strict, could be almost controlling, domineering energy. But to find your sacred flow, that would make me think they do want to get a little bit more spiritual. And if I'm going to take this in that direction, because I like the find your sacred flow, I'm going to say they want to find more of a spiritual tap in. They want to get more connected. And to that point, the Hierophant, I'm just going to say that they want, this is also an earth sign. So there's definitely a heavy, the earth thing is the pentacles are not going to leave you guys. This is definitely your energy. Maybe they want to find more of an outside, I don't know. The thing is, I think that this person, your partner up here, I think they have a lot of good in them. And I do think the Father of Pentacles is a great, great person. But I think they are almost domineering. And I think they are probably a very sufficient provider. I think they work hard. They might be pretty powerful. And I just think they work a lot. I think there's an energy where they don't have a lot of time and they aren't necessarily, I just don't think this person is that forgiving, although they are being forgiving and they're giving you time and they're exuding great like patience and care and thought. But your process that you're putting them through might actually be changing them. It might be actually pushing them into a stage of growth that might be very, very good for you guys. And if they want to find their sacred flow, if they're being so understanding and patient with you, then you know what? They could really find like a spiritual connection that they needed. They're, being connected to the earth and being grounded and all that, that's great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're deeply spiritual. And I do think that they might be thinking there's something like that missing in their lives right now. And maybe you have that. Maybe they see that in you and they've been thinking like, I want to be like that. I just want more than my work and my job and my home and my relationship. So I think they do need to work on themselves a little bit, and they see that and they know that. And that might be part of what they're really contemplating, why they're giving this so much patience, because they are trying to figure out what they need, what's right for them, what direction they want to take this. But I think the direction they're headed is a little bit different than the person you know. And I guess the question is, is that, where does this leave you? What direction do you want to go? What serves you? But yeah, there are some question marks here. And I guess all I can say is that you guys obviously have to talk and figure that out, what you really want. But I'm just going to get a good luck charm from Spirit for you guys. Like, how can you help each other? And fearless expression. So this just really does back up the fact that you really need to communicate. And if things end between you guys, I think this is someone you want on your side no matter what. Or, you don't burn a bridge with this person, because you never know what can come of it. And I don't know, just really, really express yourself. And maybe if you guys do that together, this will disappear. Maybe this doesn't really serve you. Maybe you guys are supposed to be together. I don't know. I really do feel like you guys do have something. I feel like there's something there for you. And I love seeing that people can change, and I feel like they really want to change, but it's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be a process for all this to take place, but it might be an interesting path to go down together. And but there's a lot to think about here. And I'm leaving you with a question mark, but I'll say the takeaway is like, you guys are both hurting. You're both feeling things, and don't be so secretive. Really, really, really talk and express yourself in ways you really haven't in a while or ever with this person, and see where that gets you, or if it's what you want. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you have anything to share. Okay. Tune in for more readings, please. Thank you very much. Good night, and thank you. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and I just want to thank you for being here, for watching and listening. If you comment, if you like, if you subscribe, it's a way for me to continue doing, or it gives me hope. Let's put it that way. It's a way to make me feel like it's not for nothing. And, I'm just enjoying this so much. I had one comment from a woman who said that, one of the piles resonated with her, and she gave an example, and it just fed my soul to read that. So, if you like something, and even if you don't, even if there's like a gentle criticism, I'm truly open to it. So yeah, whatever you want to share, I'm here for it. But, thank you very much. And I feel like this reading tonight was a little, I don't know, it felt heavy somehow, or it almost felt like I brought negative energy to it, and I really didn't. Like there's no influence that I was thinking, but I feel like I was hard on the partner in a couple of the readings. Let's put it that way. Like I was really harping on the partner, and I didn't mean to do that. I'm like, there's no one in my life that I'm angry with or want to harp on. And so I don't know why it came out that way, but maybe it needed to, I don't know, maybe. But I just feel like, or maybe I'm overthinking it, but it felt like I was hard on, I think, scattered and complex. Anyway, that's just me rambling. But if you're listening this far, then you were one of those piles, and maybe, I don't know. Okay, thank you very much. This is my night, so good night, and I hope to see you again. Goodbye.